Hi, I am Judson Stover. I am privileged to be the pastor of the Sutherland and Larrabee United Methodist Churches. You can visit us online at www.slparish.com. Today I'm going to approach a subject that's been out there for quite a while, and it's the idea of the divine creator, the author of all things, as opposed to chaotic Big Bang. And there's one concept in it that always amazed me is how often they'll look at wanting to discredit God because there's actually no proof of God, while at the same time saying that we are just a series of accidents and that by reason we can prove this scientifically. And underlying that is just one thought for me is, well, if we all were following just an accidental explosion and convulgence and conflagration and aligning of planets just in any old way that seems to fit whatever physical traits they have, and from that we evolved out of as life from single-cell organisms, and there must have been a lot of them just pop up at one time, because certainly just one wouldn't have survived to supply all of this. But now we're at a point where we can sit back with our science and our thinking and our reason and claim that all this accident has developed for some reason into reason. Well, my problem with that is if our reason came from an accident, just how certain are we that what we are thinking is reasonable actually is? Look at how often now we don't go to just the single truth that is in God, but to the relativity of truth based on the situation and the preponderance of evidence that would tend to make it lean one way or another. Whatever sounds the best must be the most reasonable. But we so often take things that appear reasonable and go against them because it's morally correct. And I'm wondering how, if we're supposed to be reasonable, that we don't always follow the reason that a morality can sneak in and change it. You come to a situation where you see somebody whose life is being threatened and it would endanger your own to go help them, and the reasonable thing to do is run away and save yourself. That's the basis of survival of the fittest, I believe. Yet we people tend to put aside that reason for a higher moral end, and we'll try and go and assist that person even at our own hazard of health. So I have a problem with the reason not being formed by a divine designer, a great creator, a great plan that's beyond all human ability to fully comprehend. We can never know God. We can understand what He wants us to understand of Him, but even right there I just said, too often we try to personify God to make Him more human, rather than realize we are merely creatures of a great creator. C.S. Lewis put it this way, he said that we have no more ability to really comprehend who God is than a snail has of comprehending who a human is. I don't even think we're that close. But to try and base everything on a science that is itself so flawed, it doesn't make sense to me. And I hope you take that up, that how do you manage to perform an absolute test of reason without using the reason that was based on an accident, a series of events that led to supposedly who we are. When the idea of a grand designer that could keep so many little single cells alive in the first place, and then united into such an incomparable creature as what we are, where we have thought, where we have collective reason, where we have a collective memory, goes beyond all other aspects of what you can call as reasonable or science. We stand on each other's shoulders through the ages. We have such a huge collective memory, it goes back thousands of years. That's not reasonable. But God is. And how God works is in His own reason. We may not understand it, but it most certainly is the most probable explanation for why we are here. God bless. Thank you for your time. Shalom.